Hello. So if you're a subscriber to the channel, you'll probably have noticed I've not done many videos recently, and that's mostly because the weather's been terrible all winter here in good old UK, so I've not been out loads. But I thought I would make a little video about a camera that I picked up while I was in Japan, which is the Canon, or mine is badged Bell Howell Dial 35. So named because it looks like a telephone dial. I'm old, so I know what that means. If you're not old, I'll put a picture on the screen, and that's how we used to use telephones back in the day. So I think these cameras were made back in the 60s, and it's not full of features and settings. The shutter speed dial, because it's shutter priority, runs from 30th of a second up to 250th, so not a massive range. The ISO that you can set for the meter is from a remarkably low 10 all the way through to 400. So, yeah. And the way that the meter works is when you look through the viewfinder, there's a little needle along the bottom of the screen, and that will sort of move to point to the aperture that the camera has decided it's going to use based on the shutter speed that you set. You can override it. There's a little knob that you pull out, and then you can turn it manually, so the little needle moves along, and then it'll use that aperture when you take the shot. And that's quite a handy feature because the battery is inside, so if the battery runs out halfway through a film, you're kind of stuffed, so you'll need to meter manually and do that, because obviously you can't open the film back to change the battery, because then you'll ruin your film. So when you take a photo, it also sounds like it's got a cool motor drive. It doesn't. It's not powered by the battery at all. You wind it up. It's basically clockwork. So when you load your film, you wind it for what seems like an eternity, and it'll then take, I'm not sure how many, 15 to 20 pictures maybe, and then you have to wind it up again. But it's quite cool. You can actually hold the shutter button down, and it'll reel off constant shots, sort of. I don't know how quick it goes. I might try it later. And I guess the other interesting thing about it is that it's a half frame camera. So instead of 36 shots on a roll, you'll actually end up with 72 photos. In hindsight, it was a terrible thing for me to buy, because I'm bloody useless at even getting through a 36 roll of film in a decent time frame. Anyway, one good thing about that is that, unlike the new Pentax 17, the film runs vertically within the camera, but because you're getting half frames, it means those are actually in landscape format. Obviously you can turn the camera to shoot portrait if you want to, but it sort of makes a bit more sense to me. The Pentax, you end up with vertical format pictures, so I don't know if they designed it for the mobile phone generation. God, I sound old today. Old rotary phones talking about people with mobiles. Anyway, I'm not going to run you through taking all 72 pictures on this roll of film, because that will be very dull. But I shall take a few over the coming days, and yeah, we'll see what we get out of it. Very cold. Right, another little, well, not really a limitation, just basicness of this camera is focusing. There's no kind of rangefinder or SLR-ness about it. It's basically guess. So inside the viewfinder, you'll see there's a little sort of people through to mountain guide. On the front of the camera itself, where you move the focus knob, there is a distance scale, so as long as you're good at guesstimating, which I don't think I am, it kind of should work okay. So what I might do is guesstimate focusing on the sign on this gate, and see how close I get. Feels like maybe about 8 feet, 10 feet-ish. Let's try that. Right. Well, it's a few days later, Saturday afternoon. Thought I'd wander out and do a few more pictures on the little dial camera. So I've come up to Castleacre, which isn't too far from home, and got a few pickies around here. I've realised, well, I think I already knew, but I haven't quite cottoned on, a useful little feature of it, which is sort of, I guess, like an exposure lock. So when you're moving the camera around and metering, and obviously the needle moves around, once you sort of depress or half depress the shutter button, it does lock in the chosen aperture that it's going to use, which is pretty cool because it means that if you've got a scene where you want to compose for quite a bit of sky, normally that would end up probably too dark for the subject, but you can meter off the ground and then recompose, so that's quite nice. I'm just going to probably take a quick picture here, looking over towards the hill and ruins, and then go for a little wander through town, well, village. I did see a cute little 2CV by the gate arch, whatever you call it, so go and get a picture of that as well. I've also just remembered that I think at the start of this video I said you obviously wind the camera up and it will take some photos before you have to wind it up some more. I'm checking, there's a little tiny window just above the shutter button there, which you probably can't see, but it's on 25. I haven't had to wind it up again yet, so actually it's gone. It was parked just there. I found a different old car to take a picture of instead. That's the village sign. Might do a little phone box. So I'll see if I can a quick picture or two around the churchyard as well. I'm kind of shooting into the sun from this angle, but it has disappeared behind a big cloud, so try and grab the shot quickly. So interestingly, I took the picture of the church. It's number shot 20, 28, 29. Took it, but it didn't wind on because the spring ran out. So I think I've wound the spring up again. Then I took the picture again, like twice, because I figured if it hadn't wound on, I'm probably going to get a double exposure on that frame. But yeah, remains to be seen when I get the film back. Anyway, wandering through the churchyard. There's a nice little pile of snowdrops around some graves over here. So I think that might make for well, I don't know if pretty is the right word. Something like that. And nicer light on the church here as well. This is quite a pretty little pathway of snowdrops. And there's a squirrel and a bunny rabbit. Let's all go. So for the picture of the gravestone and snowdrops back there, I went to the highest shutter speed, so 1/250th. The idea being that would force the camera to then open the aperture wide up to try and get a nice shallow depth of field. I'm just hopeful that my guesstimate of focusing is somewhere near correct, because if not it'll look a bit rubbish. Anyway, quite a nice little scene just here as well. Apart from my shadow in it. I keep saying nice, they're gravestones, but you know, photogenic. Right, I have left the churchyard and I'm just wandering across the field towards the priory ruins. I probably won't go in today. Sort of skirt the field around the edge, grab a couple of pictures. If you want to know what it looks like inside, you might want to go back and watch my video where I shot Harman Phoenix on the medium format camera here a few months back. Well, it must be half a year ago now. I'll put a link to it up at the top. Whoop, it's very muddy. But yeah, grab a picture or two here, I think. Pretty much got to the end of the film on the little Dial 35, so time to rewind it. There's no rewind handle like you get on a conventional 35mm camera. It actually uses the motorised mechanism, or clockwork mechanism, with a little button that we press and twist and hold, and it will rewind some of the film until the spring runs out. You wind it up some more and then rewind the rest of it. So let's do that.